My people, what is happening in this country right now is something that has caught everyone's attention. The kind of political tension we are seeing today shows that big things are happening behind closed doors. The headline making waves everywhere reads, Jonathan, Soludo, and Abaribe storm Aso Rock as pressure mounts on Tinubu over Kanu's detention. Just that line alone is enough to shake the whole nation. And trust me, this one is not small. It's a serious political move that might change the direction of things in the southeast and even across Nigeria as a whole. Now, before I go deeper into what's happening, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us keep bringing you real updates straight from the heart of Nigeria. So, what's really going on? For a while now, there has been serious tension surrounding Nnamdi Kanu's continued detention. Many people believe his case has dragged on for too long. He has been in custody since 2021, and every time it looks like something will happen, everything just hangs again. Court orders have been issued, appeals have been made, and discussions have come up over and over, but somehow the situation still remains the same. Now, people are starting to get louder. The pressure has reached another level, and just when everyone thought the matter was cooling off, suddenly, former President Goodluck Jonathan, Anambra State Governor Charles Soludo, and Senator Enyinnaya Abaribe were seen at Aso Rock. That alone got everyone talking. These are not small names in Nigerian politics. When a former president, a sitting governor, and a strong senator walk into the villa together, it means something major is on the table. From the look of things, they didn't just go there for a courtesy visit. The talk is that the visit was connected to Nnamdi Kanu's continued detention and how the situation is creating unrest in the southeast. Many communities have been crying out for peace, and they believe releasing Kanu could help calm the tension. And seeing these powerful leaders move together gives the impression that a united front is forming in the region. And you know how Nigeria works. When heavyweights begin to move like that, it's never just coincidence. It means conversations have been going on underground for weeks, maybe even months. People are meeting quietly, strategies are being drawn, and now it seems like those talks have reached points where they need to involve the president directly. Please, if you're still watching and enjoying this gist, remember to like this video right now and subscribe. Your support means everything. It helps this channel grow so that more Nigerians can hear what's really going on. Now let's talk about why this meeting matters so much. For years, the Southeast region has complained of feeling left out politically, economically, and even socially. They say decisions are made at the top level without their full involvement, and that the detention of Kanu has only deepened that sense of exclusion. So when respected leaders like Soludo and Abaribe step in, it's not just about one man, it's about the voice of an entire region that wants to be heard and treated fairly. Former President Jonathan's involvement adds a different kind of weight to the matter. Because unlike active politicians, Jonathan doesn't have anything to lose politically at the moment. He's seen as a peace figure, someone respected both in the South and the North. So his presence makes the message even stronger, that this is not just an Igbo affair, but a national issue that requires leadership and fairness. Reports say discussions in Aso Rock were quite intense. The visitors didn't just talk about Kanu's situation. They also discussed how the ongoing agitation is affecting the economy of the Southeast. Businesses are struggling, and investors are becoming afraid because of the regular sit-at-home orders that have crippled many activities. The delegation reportedly told the president that the best way to ease that tension is to start with Kanu's release, or at least take steps that show the government is serious about dialogue. Now, Tinubu, being the kind of political tactician he is said to have listened carefully. Remember, he came into office promising to unite the country and heal old wounds. But this Kanu issue has become one of his biggest early challenges. The Southeast has been restless. And there's a growing belief that if something concrete doesn't happen soon, that tension could explode again. So the meeting at Aso Rock could be the turning point, a chance for the president to show leadership that goes beyond politics. But at the same time, there's pressure on both sides. Tinubu's government doesn't want to appear weak, especially in a matter that touches on national security. Some voices around the presidency believe that Kanu's case needs to be handled carefully because of the sensitive nature of his movement. So it's a delicate balance between justice, peace, and authority. Now, let's not forget Senator Abaribe's role in all this. This man has been a strong supporter of peace and dialogue for years. He once stood as surety for Nnamdi Kanu in court, so he's deeply involved in the whole situation. For him, this isn't just political, it's personal. He has taken risks before to stand for what he believes is right. And now, being part of this Aso Rock meeting shows that he's still pushing for a peaceful resolution. Governor Soludo, on the other hand, has been trying to rebuild the image of Anambra State and restore confidence in governance across the region. He's been talking about turning the Southeast into a strong economic zone. But for that to happen, there must be peace. And peace won't come if the agitation continues. So his interest in Kanu's release is as much about stability as it is about justice. Please, if you've not done it yet, hit the like button now and subscribe. Let's keep this gist growing because I still have plenty to unpack on this issue. Now, one thing that really got people talking is the timing. Why now? Why did these leaders suddenly decide to move together? Well, from what political watchers are saying, it's because of how fast pressure is building on the government. Civil society groups, religious leaders, and even international human rights organizations have been calling for a resolution. Everyone seems to agree that the situation has gone on long enough. At the same time, there are planned peaceful marches being discussed in several southeast cities. Youth groups are beginning to organize again, but many elders believe dialogue is still the best path. That's why this visit to Aso Rock was very important. It was a signal to the people that the leaders are taking action at the highest level. Even though the details of what exactly was discussed have not been made public, it's clear that something significant happened behind closed doors. The expressions on their faces when they left the villa spoke volumes. Calm, but serious. That kind of body language usually means the talks were intense. This whole matter is shaping up to be one of the most watched political developments of the year. The question now is simple. Will President Tinubu yield to the pressure and order Kanu's release? Or will he hold his ground and let the legal process continue its slow path? That's what everyone is waiting to see. But one thing is sure. The Southeast is speaking with one voice louder than ever before. The presence of Jonathan, Soludo, and Abaribe in Aso Rock has shown unity that hasn't been seen in years. It's like the region is finally saying, enough is enough, let's settle this once and for all. And that unity is important because for a long time, one of the biggest problems in the region has been division among its leaders. Some supported confrontation, others supported dialogue. But now, it seems there's a common understanding that peace is the only path forward. So, what happens next will define Nigeria's political story for a long time. If handled well, it could be the start of genuine healing and national reconciliation. But if ignored, it could reopen wounds that the country has been trying to close for decades.
In all these circumstances, has Nnamdi Kanu done anything that is almost 1% of what is going on in the rest of the country? Apart from occasional stops and gyration, tell me what is happening in the Southeast. In fact, the Southeast might be the most peaceful place, apart from this occasional stops of people kidnapping one thing or the other. And they do it as a result of, protest on Nnamdi Kanu. There's a pretext to commit crime because Nnamdi Kanu is held. If this was a fairly intelligent government, if they release Nnamdi Kanu today, there will be 95% peace in the Southeast, and that will affect the rest of the country. Of all these governors, only Soludo of Anambra State had gone to DSS once to see him, if I'm not wrong, about a year or 2 years ago. He's gone there to see him, And after that, maybe his colleagues advised him not to get involved. Why are they afraid? The young man is very popular in the southeast. Let me not extend it to the rest of the country. If Nnamdi Kanu comes out today, Igbos will do 90% of what he tells them to do. To the interest, not just in Igbo interest, but Nigerian interest. Because what has he spoken about in the past? Mistreatment of his people. And if that is continuous and the rest of the country don't want the Igbos, then let them allow them go. This is the summary of what he's saying. How can you can't be shorter than me and be taller than me at the same time? This is the summary of Nnamdi Kanu's theory. So he didn't start today. Hazurike has done the same thing. There's so many other people. It was the concept of Odumegwu Ojukwu himself. If you don't want your people, then let them go. And as you know, when people talk of let them go, it appears we are packing our luggage and going. Look at the contiguity. Look at Nsukka and Benue. There's no place anybody is going. It's the same country. You know, the same marketing, the same, so much of intermarriages has taken place. All we're saying that there is no governance. The summary is that there is no governance. That's what is causing all the problem. The problem of corruption has become both phenotypically and genotypically specific. That's nothing, it's a genetic problem now. And it is that crisis that government is not even ashamed that they said 139 million Nigerians very poor in a country of plenty. And my president junkets to Paris, from there to what is it called, to Dubai. I have never seen a group of people that are shameless. In a country, 774 local governments, I challenge them. Let them tell you where water is running. Where? Water. So people are dying because of waterborne diseases, and they don't care. And it's even more, you see, like I was saying before we started this, if these governors were sons of Ahmadu Bello, or Nnamdi Kanu, or Azikiwe, or Awolowo, they will say, oh, they had determined their future. They are coming from a position, a background of wealth. But tell me which of these governors not coming from a very poor environment? Most of them, their parents have never been heard of. Most of them, when you hear the history of how they managed to go to secondary school, and finally God bless them, they become governors. So what they are paying back to society is stealing up money. I was telling somebody this morning who confronted me, you know, Dan, what do we do? What do we do? Lead a democratic revolution. I said, I don't have the resources. I can't. I've been in PDP, not even director, because I won't comply with what they said. Yesterday we had a National Reconciliation Committee meeting. Out of 25 members, only 8 were there. So it means that part of those who have joined APC, majority are coming out from PDP. So going to APC, what is the fundamental, reason why you go to? It's because if you're moving from A to B, B must be better than A. So what has APC done that should be exciting to anybody to want to leave PDP? Because PDP has a track record under Obasanjo. There was debt relief that saved millions of lives in this country. Since then, what has happened? 8 years of Muhammad Buhari was a disaster in this country. I said it on this channel and other channels, even when he was in government. It was a disaster. There was no governance. And this president, when he was campaigning, said he was going to continue from where Buhari stopped. He's now seen the true nature of where Buhari stopped. How beautiful where Buhari stopped is for the rest of the country. Isn't that a tragedy? In 21st century Nigeria, with everything God has given us, we don't know where we are beginning and where. If you don't know where you're starting, how do you know where you're going? You know, and we take it as a matter of routine. Nothing is going. It's in our case, they say, let's leave it for God. So we are the only people God created. If we decide to be foolish, then He will be foolish with us. That is still a battle of the continuation of the Nigerian Civil War. The war has not ended. I think it was on China's TV. I had an interview. Like I said, the day Nnamdi Kanu is released is the end of the Nigerian Civil War. And that will be the day the Southeast starts being integrated into the rest of the country. Look at insecurity everywhere. So is this government enjoying insecurity? That their citizens are being killed? Like you were saying something earlier on. Why are our governors in the South not interested? Because the boy will overwhelm everybody. It will be an Nnamdi Kanu. You know, the people worship the name Nnamdi Kanu in the Southeast because he represents the summary of their struggle from before the Civil War and thereafter. That's how they look at him. You know? I have stopped going to court because each time I come to court to join him, both of us start crying and I feel very emotional about it. You know? He's a very brilliant young man that this government is wasting. Would have been a benefit for the rest of us in this country, but this is where we are.